Welcome to No Ma'am, the podcast where we talk shit and throw a little bit of shade at everything and everyone. We'll have you saying no ma'am in no time. I'm your host, Willy Will, and this is my co-host.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of No Man.
Awesome. Well, Jhoany, the time has come. Canada's Drag Race,
I'm
season
so
5,
excited. I'm
finally
so
here.
excited.
I
I
know you're
know.
excited.
Canada has been one of my favorite franchises since it started. I love Brooklyn. I was so excited when she was announced as the host. I've loved every season for the most part. I think they have an amazing queens, like super talented queens that always bring the runways. One thing I particularly love about Canada is their creativity with the challenges and the runways. I feel like they are doing things that other franchises don't do at all. They get so creative, and I look forward to every single challenge because I know it's just not going to be the same challenge that gets recycled every other season.
Right. No, I agree. I also think that this season in particular, I think the budget is budgeting. It just makes sense. I think the cast is a very diverse cast. I also think it probably, to me, no shade, it may actually be the best like ensemble overall so far in the 5 seasons. And then I think Brooklyn is finally coming into her own as a host and fully understanding the critiques and even with the judges, right? I think Brad is doing a really amazing job when it comes to and Tracy, but I think Brad mostly at first some of his critiques were really questionable, and I was like, is he really paying attention? But I think now, like getting into season 5, I think it kind of makes sense, and so I think he's even coming into his own as a judge, and I'm just overall excited. I think Brooklyn is probably the judge that's closest to like RuPaul style in terms of like how to judge a season of Drag Race than the other franchises from the international series.
Yeah, and I also love that Brooklyn, like, she still does drag with the girls, like, at shows, at bars. So I think it creates a special connection between her and the girls where she understands what they're going through. She understands the struggles, but she still holds them to a high standard.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I
It's
love
kind of
that.
like
I think
Michelle.
she's a great, yeah.
She gives me Michelle, right? I think she gives me like old Michelle from like Logo, where she was like really connected to the queens, maybe even went
hmm
on tours with them, right? Went on, was on the tour bus and would travel with them because she understands who they are as like drag queens, like outside of the show. I think Brooklyn has that camaraderie with a lot of these queens. And so she's able to judge based on like, one, I know your backstory, and I know you can bring more than what you're bringing to this show right now. And then two, not let the show actually like take over their personality as a whole, so they won't feel like imposter syndrome happening. I think it's true.
Yeah. It is, it's giving Michelle, but if Michelle knew how to dance.
I was not ready. Like I didn't know how to. I didn't have. That gagged me. Like this is the second time that you've gagged me so far. Like that down under
Girl, we
episode
know
and
you're
now
not used
this
to
one,
gagging.
and I don't gag. So like that's like something total new territory. But before we get into the episode, do you have any standouts so far of any of the Canadian queens?
Yeah, I mean, just based off of the Meet the Queens, I really like Jaylene Time. I love an older queen. I love that she's indigenous and that she's really representing that wholeheartedly. Michaela, obviously, you know, Isis's daughter, she has a lot to live up to. So let's hope she's able to meet those standards and meet those expectations and really deliver. And Perla, I don't know what it was about her, but I instantly gravitated towards her. I think she's a beautiful queen. I'm excited to see what she's gonna do.
I'm obsessed with Perla. Like obsessed. Okay, this is a Perla stan account over here. Like I'm obsessed with her. I don't know what it is about Perla, but I'm like obsessed. I think it's
Right?
maybe her like deadpan personality because I live for a queen that's deadpan. I don't know what it is. Like live love it. Obviously, she's a fashion queen. Like the references that she's been bringing so far. Not to get into like any like spoilers, but if you watch the episode, you've seen it. But like Perla is like yes. Another standout for me is the Virgo Queen. Love the Virgo Queen. Obviously, I always have to like the Black Queens. I feel like, duh, like I root for everybody who's Black. Like, hello,
See,
Michaela.
that's me with like the Latina queens. Like I need to root for them. I
Like,
think that's why I kind of gravitate towards Perla. I was like, ooh,
yes, for the culture, bitch.
yeah.
Shout out to Queen Kong for that because it makes sense. And I'm going to use it majority of the times in this episode. And who else? Obviously, Michaela Couture. And just like you said, it's a lot to live up to the Couture name, right? We had Isis, then we had Kimmy Couture, which Kimmy, she was a finalist. She did really well, right? Obviously, she has some slips and she has some bottoms, but for the most part, personality was out of like 100%. Kimmy was always on 1,000. So it'd be really interesting to see if one Michaela of brings the fashion because she's a couture, right? You can't be a couture and not bring the fashion. And then two, to see her personality, if we're ever going to be able to see that shine through, that we get to see who Michaela Couture is.
Yeah. Another one that I really loved was Oh My God. I know we've kind of seen the name before with Irma Gerd, but I love these cookie queens. You know that.
No, no, ma'am.
And I don't know. I'm excited to see what crazy shit she pulls up.
I don't know. I'm over this, like, the character. Like, for some reason, I've seen the character before. So because I've seen the character, it takes me out of, like, really just being able to give her the benefit of the doubt. That sounds so bad, but I've seen it already, so I feel like it's not original, even though she's an original character. But for some reason, it's because her name is so similar to one of the queens that we already had on the show that it, like, just automatically takes me there.
I mean, we've had like 50 Electras. Like, we've had a lot of queens have very similar names. Electras, Crystals. Like, there's been a lot of them.
It's true, but that one as close, like that's unique. Electra, everybody knows Electra, like whatever, right? You have Electra, then you have et cetera, et cetera. Like you have similar like iterations of it. I get it, but they were on different franchises. It's never the same,
Yeah, that
like
is true.
where
That
it's
is
like the
true.
same franchise and the name is so similar that it's on the same franchise. That's when it's like,
That
really
is true.
though? Come on now. Another, I think, for me, Helena Poison. Oh, Helena Poison.
So, based off of the Meet the Queens, I wasn't super excited just because I am not a huge fan of her style of drag. Not that there's anything wrong with it, it's just not my cup of tea. So, it's not somebody I instantly gravitated towards. My opinion does change as the episodes went on, but based off of the Meet the Queens, she was a pass for me.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, no, it's just something about her. Like, I like that she's like old school drag, but with a new twist to it, but still old school at the same time. It's something in that she finds a balance between the two. But it's also a little hodgepodge too, which I like that as well. And it's to me, it's just a rare like mix. So
I'm just not a huge fan of like that whole like MySpace like emo like style. I don't know, like that Jeffree Star. Like, no, no, thank you.
not the MySpace. Like
Yeah,
R.I.P. MySpace. Like Scone X. I think I might have just aged myself with Scone X. If you
I
know,
don't
you
know what
know.
Skonex is.
Yeah, Skonex was the shit. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Skonex, back in the day, you had Mi Gente.
I know mi gente.
Yes, you had Mi Gente. You had Black Planet. You had MySpace. There was Skonex. Those were the shits. Like, oh, that's my elementary school and my junior high school and my, like, my high school days. Damn, I'm so old. Fuck, I'm old.
I didn't know they had social media in the 70s.
You bitch. Like, fuck you, okay? Like, that, they did have social media in the 70s. Um,
No, they didn't.
I know, I was just literally just being an ass. Like that I knew. That wasn't a blonde moment. Like I literally knew.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So let's get into the entrance looks. This season kind of did something a little different. The queens came in, did an entrance look, did an entrance line, and then walked back out. So I was a little confused, but then I was like, once they finished all the looks and they all came together, I said this was intentional. But at first, I was just like, why don't they just stay like the normal franchises do, where like the queens come in, say entrance look, say entrance line, and they walk over to the big table, right, and wait till the other ones come. I like that better. I wasn't a fan of
I
them coming in and then leaving.
I didn't like this. One of my favorite parts of the premiere episode is seeing how the queens interact as they're walking in, and some of them recognize each other. Some of them, instantly start getting into the drama and start being shady.
Hmm.
That's one of my favorite parts of the premiere episode. So the fact that we didn't get that was really disappointing. I understood why they did it the way they did once they explained what the challenge was, but I definitely prefer the old way, or like the original way of like queen comes in, sits down, next queen comes in.
Yeah, I was just like, what are they doing? Right? Like to me, I was so confused, and it kind of took me out for a little bit. And I was like, wait, I wanted a little shade and the shady banter and the funny banter like that the queens will do when they see each other's entrance looks. I think that's
Hmm.
what kind of makes the first episode so like iconic and so fun is that we get to see that.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
the first queen to come in the workroom is Minnie Wang, and to me, honestly, her look was meh to me. I'm sorry.
It was okay. It was cute. I don't think it was anything to write home about, but it wasn't bad. But that is a man. That
I
is
mean,
a man.
we do find out that she's the trade of the season,
Yeah.
which makes sense because she was the pit crew member.
Second time it's ever happened. First time being in Drag Race España.
Yeah, what do you think about? I think this year just has to be the year of the pit crew, like turned into drag queens. Like, what's going on?
I don't mind it. I mean, I think it's kind of interesting. Listen, if they want to do drag, let them do drag.
Like, but
I just think they need to.
do you think
What were you gonna
they
say?
have an unfair advantage though because they've
A little
been
bit.
on the opposite side?
Yes, I think so because they've obviously seen how production works, even though they didn't get to necessarily compete in the challenge. They've seen behind the curtain. They know what's going on. They know how everything is done. So it is a bit of an unfair advantage. I just think they need to hide those muscles sometimes because both queens so far have been very muscular, which is okay. That's nothing wrong with that. But for some runways, it really takes you out of the illusion.
It does.
Uh,
I agree. I agree. I think you're absolutely right. That's why she got a no man for me. It is not because like I don't like a muscular body. Like that's not like that's not it. But I think sometimes it is we have to offset some of our manly like features if we're gonna give the illusion of drag. Like, but it depends because everybody's drag is different, right? Drag is for everyone, and so every like their drag comes in many like shapes and forms. So don't take this as like, oh my gosh, like I'm like biased against one. No, but I just think for this show in particular, based on like the characters that they're giving, like it's kind of hard. Sometimes it kind of takes me out of the fantasy. But that's just my opinion. That's just me.
I agree. I think it just depends entirely on the look, but muscles are okay sometimes. But overall, I think sometimes, depending on what they're choosing to present, it really does take you out of the illusion.
Yeah. All right. So now the next queen to come in is Terra Nova. No shade. The first thing I wrote in my notes was Filler Queen. Like first thing.
It was very basic. It wasn't what I would imagine somebody would be walking into the workroom to present yourself to the world. It just gave something that you'd wear at a hometown bar to do a couple numbers in. Not anything super special.
Right.
It wasn't a bad look. It's just not
No, it was well
what
put
you would.
together. Like it was like the hymns were good. Like it was well put together. I did get a little like hodgepodge. So like just to like foreshadow into the rest of the episode, it was a little hodgepodgey. So I did get that. Just like you, I got like not entrance look, not first impression. Maybe like like after you've done a couple of numbers and you're walking around like the bar just to just to mingle with the fans. But besides all the shade I've just thrown at Terra Nova, her face was sitting. That mug was so good.
It was. It was. I won't give her that. And I did like the hair for the most part. Just again, not what you should be entering the workroom to in.
Not at all. But next up, we have Sanjana the Bitch Queen. And you
The
know I love
bish,
me
the bish,
the
the
Bish, not the
bish.
bitch.
Yeah.
The Bish Queen with a SH. And you know I love me a Banji Queen. Like I love like a
Hmm.
queen that's a little like rough around the edges. I just feel like she is a little too rough around the edges for me.
I agree. It just looked very kind of messy, like very incomplete. I don't know. Again, just not what I would like. I get what she was going for, and I get it's her aesthetic. But girl, this is your first impression to the world. Like this is not
Yes,
what you should be walking out
yes. I just wanted a little bit more from the look.
on. Hmm.
It had potential, right? It gave us a glimpse into who she is, a little bit of her culture. I love that. But based on her personality and the confessionals and seeing her as a first impression, right, I wanted more. I thought her personality was like on 1,000 and the look was like on 100.
I agree.
Next up, we have the queen that we're both obsessed about, Perla. Now, there was something about Perla when she came in and she just stood there. And I was like, give me more.
No, I loved her. I mean, it was not my favorite entrance outfit. It was decent. It was cute. Again, I don't know. Something about her just makes me gravitate towards her. I think I agree with you. It's just like that whole like deadpan, like uninterested look she's giving. I don't know. I love Perla. I'm excited to see what she does.
Yes. And then she said, I'm a dirty slut. No, for real. I'm a dirty slut. I just thought
I
that
mean,
was like so good. I was like, yes, like I get it. It gave me like I like big dicks and fried chicken. Like it gave me that from like Jujubee, the iconic line. And so
I
she was
mean
like,
that's
oh
one of the
yeah,
best lines ever.
it really is. But she's like,
I,
hi, I'm Perla and I'm a dirty slut. Like that was really good. But then again, we have to realize that George Delano said that exact line in All Stars 2.
hmm And
And that was
One
funny.
thing I kind of referring to that is no, never mind. You said it. Adore Delano referring back to it when she was like, "Oh, I can't say that, but she can say I love big dicks and fried chicken."
Right. So obsessed with her. The mug, that hair was so structured. I was like, Perla, you better. Like, you better,
Yeah.
bitch. That's all I just kept saying was, Perla, you better, bitch. Literally, just the whole entire time. I was like, you better, bitch. Next up is Helena Poison. Again, I thought this, for first impression, I thought the look was cute. I got who she was right away. And I thought it was a good entrance look for her and her brands in the first impression.
I mean, I think everything I said about her when it came to the Meet the Queens kind of applies to this too, where it's just not my particular cup of tea, the whole like MySpace kind of era hair and all that stuff. Not a huge fan. Wasn't my favorite look.
Yeah. And the next up is Jaylene Time. Now, she's not one of my faves. I enjoy Jaylene. I think this entrance look was amazing. I thought from first impression for her, as someone who's well established and polished, she gave me that, and I was like, yes, this is great. I love the message behind it, but I thought this was a really great first impression.
This was my favorite look. Entrance look. I thought she looked gorgeous. She looked beautiful. This is exactly what you would expect from a queen of like her caliber. And I love the message that she was trying to get across. I thought she looked beautiful, and I thought she had the best entrance look.
Same, yeah. Then it was the Virgo Queen, and I'm a stan. Like, I'm a Virgo Queen stan. Like, I got the reference. I understood the Y2K really like quick. She gave me was like giving me Bratz doll. Like, I loved everything about it. I thought it was a really cute look for her. She looked so young and refreshed. Like, I was like, yes. So I thought it was cute.
It was cute. Again, not my kind of style. Not. I don't really like this whole Y2K kind of look at all. Like this whole Bratz doll thing. Not a huge fan of it. I feel like it's been done so many times before. Obviously, this is her take on it, and her take is slightly different. But it's just not the most original thing I've seen.
Shade. Next is Umagerd, or I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Damn, you
It's Uma.
fucked. Oh my god.
Oh my God. Hey.
Yeah. This is drag, baby. I love this. This is campy. I love the gap. Her makeup. I don't know how I feel about her makeup. The way she contours. Yeah. I don't know. I get it. Like she's painting for like the back row. But when you're on TV, girl, it doesn't necessarily translate as well. But I love the dress she came out in with like the gap tooth, like all the way down to her knees. I thought it was really cute.
No, didn't like it. It was not mine. I fast forward.
But not the fast forward.
I did. Like, I'm sorry. There's no shade to her. I just was like, no. And then her voice, no. She's not one of my faves. I'm sorry. Like, it's like, no.
I like
Like,
her. I love her.
next was Tiffany and Co.
I thought this look was beautiful. I thought it was very on brand for the name, especially. Like she came out in that Tiffany blue with that huge bow. I thought she looked beautiful, very cute, very tiny, very petite.
The bow was crooked.
I mean, it was, but I still think she looked very cute.
The only thing I liked about the look was the shoes.
I don't remember the shoes. I just remember
They were blue.
the
They were
dress.
Tiffany blue. That's it.
I just don't
thought,
remember what they actually look like.
oh yeah. I mean, to me, it was like the look was did it give me enough for a first impression for Tiffany and Co? Yes and no. The branding, obviously Tiffany blue, yes. Okay, great. But I just, and then the bow in the back, which was crooked, it's bothering me every time she walked, which is kind of why she walked a little lopsided so that you wouldn't actually get to see that the bow was crooked. I just wanted more from her. Like, I wanted more. I saw potential in the look. I wanted her to go full out.
I get that.
I wish
Okay,
she would
I
have
see
did
that.
that for me. And then we had Xana. This is one of my favorite interlooks. Like,
Same, because I think you get to know exactly who she is. Like this is branding at its finest. As soon as she walked in, you know what she's about, what her aesthetic is. She looked beautiful. The bitch was just wearing belts, and she looked great.
yes, my only critique is that I didn't think the hat was necessary. I didn't like the hat, and I didn't
I
like
like
the
the
coat.
hat. I did not like the coat. I like the hat though.
I didn't
don't
like the
know.
hat.
It was just. I thought it was just kind of different, like the juxtaposition of the hat to what she was actually wearing. I liked it.
Okay, I can see that, but I just didn't like the hat. I felt like if she just had that long pony with like the belts and the shoes, which were
Ooh,
Louboutins, by the way, I just was like, this is so cunty.
And no, it was very cunty.
And then obviously, last but not least, we have Michaela Couture. And I love her, but I expected more from the entrance look.
Same. I just wanted the wings to be bigger. Like, I don't know. So it's a similar critique I kind of had to, or what I thought about her promo look, where she had these like little wings and legs. I was like, they're too small. Like, they need to be bigger. They get lost in what you're wearing.
Exactly.
I thought if they were bigger, she would have looked beautiful. She probably would have been my favorite. I thought her hair was beautiful. Her makeup was great. But I don't know. I just thought those wings were too small.
Yeah, I mean, same on the wings. I also wanted to know who Michaela Couture was. Like, for an entrance look, I didn't get Michaela Couture. Like, who is she? Like, who is this threat? Because mind you, everyone was super excited when they saw her. Like, oh my God, this is real competition. Michaela Couture is here. Everybody get ready. I just didn't get that from the entrance look. And I was wanting more. She kind of left me a little hungry.
I get what you're saying about not knowing who she really is with that.
Yeah. So, like we said in the beginning, right? Obviously, the queens come in, they say their entrance line, we get to look at their entrance looks, and then they walk back out. At the end of all of everyone going through their entrance, all the queens come together, and we get like them all coming together and being excited about seeing each other. In this moment, we get to see that obviously everybody's gagged and Michaela Couture is there, but we also get to realize that Sanjina is there with her drag mother, the Virgo Queen.
Mm-hmm. I love when this happens because the drama that it creates is always so fun to watch. I kind of want to see them go at it. I don't know that they ever will. I doubt they ever will. But I think it'd be really fun to watch them just, fight it out.
Why do you want mom and daughter to like drag each other?
I just think it'd be funny. Girl, if your mom can't drag you on national TV, then like she's not your real mom.
Listen, if we can't drag each other, then how the hell are we gonna drag somebody else?
Exactly. Exactly. And listen, she needed a dragger for that entrance look. This is what she needed to do.
She did. Especially the Virgo Queen coming in looking all polished, and then your drag daughter
Yeah.
is looking like a booger. Like, no. That's like
Got the
no
heathers and the
ma'am.
boogers all over.
Yes, it was the mother was looking like the Heather and the daughter was looking like the booger. Like it was giving no ma'am. Like, what we doing? Sis, like, no.
Like, so I'm kind of so obviously we know that when you get the call for Drag Race, you're not allowed to tell anyone. That's real. Nobody really follows that. They all tell their best friends. They all know. Like obviously everyone knows. So my thing is like, were you not helping her out with her runway package? Like, were you not next to her being like, no, you cannot wear that as your entrance look?
Or what
Or
I'm
did they
thinking
really
is
not?
they might have not like they might have known, right? Obviously, because they're gonna like help each other with the entrance package. But she may have said that she might have been an alternate.
That too, but even if you're an alternate, I'm gonna still make sure you have an amazing package just in case you get the call and it's like, yes, we need you here at this time.
True, true, true. It could be a little
Unless they
sabotage. I'm not saying that.
un- unless they really did not know and they really kept it a secret.
I mean,
But I
yeah,
guess that'd be really hard to do when that's your drag mother. Like
that is
I'm
true.
assuming you'd want her support and her help.
This is also true. So I don't know, but that's a good point that you made. Like, let's table that. I think that'd be really good. So then we saw once they're like unpacking and they're doing everything right. We get to see that Terra Nova is throwing shade at people, but mind you, Sis's look didn't look that great for her to be throwing shade at other people's interest.
Yeah, it's always the queens that shouldn't be saying a lot that speak the loudest and give the most critiques.
Right. Like, sis, sit down, because your look didn't
Go
look
look in
that
the
great.
mirror. No, go look in the mirror, girl.
And then obviously Brooklyn and the other judges, so Brad and Tracy, they come in and we find out that the rosebud and the thorn is back, which makes sense. And like the first challenge was actually the entrance looks, which is why they came in, said their entrance line, and then walked out.
Hmm. I like this because I think it. So they did something similar. I think it was the previous season. Yeah, it was season 4 with the rosebud and the thorn, but it was only one queen that got the rosebud and the thorn. I think, right?
Hmm.
So I like that this time it's like, hey, you have 3 separate chances to earn one. If you mess this one up, make sure you bring it the next 2 times. Um, what I'd be really interested to see is like if a queen can get both. Like, could she have the worst entrance look and be like, hey, you absolutely deserve a thorn for that, but then also kill it on the runway and be like, okay, we cannot ignore that you had the best runway, so you also get a rose, and what that would kind of play out.
That's very interesting. I never thought about that.
Yeah,
The
because
drama.
I do think it, I mean, foreshadowing a little bit, I do think it should have happened.
True. Yeah, I can see that. And so Brooklyn tells us, or tells them, that the first rosebud and the first thorn has already been selected. We don't know who it is. The queens don't know who it is. We'll find out who they are on the runway, but that there is two more chances for either the queens to get a thorn or for them to collect their rosebuds. I just feel like the rosebud is haunting me, and you know how I feel about the rosebud.
It's the year of the rosebud, girl.
Like, I'm over the rosebud. Like, rosebuds are not cute. Like, we just need to let that shit go.
I will
Need to
die
let it go.
laughing if when they reveal the promo for season 17, if somebody has a rosebud look, I will just die. I will die laughing if a queen comes out with the rosebud look or with an
Like,
entrance look or something.
I'm just over rosebuds. They're
I think we
not
should keep them
cute.
going. I
They're
think we should keep
not
them going
cute.
just to piss you off.
Like, this, like, I'm have PTSD. Like, I'm gonna see rosebuds in my sleep. Like, this is crazy to me. I don't understand, like, why they have so many rosebuds. Why does what is the infatuation with, like, rosebuds? Like, I need everyone to Google what a
No,
fucking rosebud is.
no, don't do that. Don't do that. Do not Google that. Do not Google what a rosebud is, especially if you are watching us and you are under the age of 18. Please do not
First of all,
Google.
when you Google rosebud, you're going to see a rosebud, like an actual flower.
I don't care. Do not Google it. Do not Google it. I do not want to catch a case because you're telling people out here to Google what a rosebud is.
I'm just saying, like, you don't. Like,
Don't
and by
Google it.
this, obviously, don't Google it. If you're not of age, do not Google it. I'm not condoning that behavior. Secondly,
Girl, you're gonna get us
rosebuds.
canceled.
Rosebuds are a really great part of the flower. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about anything else. I don't like,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Nice
over the
save.
roses. So, just saying, I'm not talking about anything else. So, but like we said in the beginning of the episode, Minnie Wang is the man. Like, she's a man out of drag.
Oh,
I
that,
know
yeah,
in the other episode I talked about, like, Down Under, like, Vibe is a man. Like, Minnie Wang is a man. Like,
fully.
that's a muscular man.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, she becomes the trade of the season. Like, I think by default, like, there's nobody else.
I agree with Michaela when she was kind of like fanning over. Oh my God. I don't know. It's just something about a bald, white-headed man that gets me. I don't know.
Not a bald, white-headed man. That is
Yeah, I don't
so,
know.
like, vanilla.
I know. I don't know. I kind of agreed with Michaela. I was like, ooh, he's kind of cute.
No, I didn't see it. It was like Kasha Davis and Mr. Potato Head had a baby. Child, it was not
I
okay.
don't know. I thought he was kind of cute. But yeah, Minnie Wang is the trade. Not that there was much competition anyway.
There really wasn't. Actually,
No
no
shade.
shade. No, I was saying no shade at the same time. No, I could say the Virgo Queen.
Oh yeah, she's cute actually. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll
The
give you
Virgo
that.
Queen is Sis has a do rag in her confessional. Like, come on now.
Panda's also kind of cute. A little bit. A little bit. You know,
If you
after
like
a
them
couple
little,
tiny girl.
like,
That bitch is petite.
short.
Petite.
All right. So, like we said, there is three chances for you to get a rosebud or a thorn. First one was the runway. First one was the entrance look. Then we have the music video, which is another opportunity. And then the last one is the runway. So let's get into the music video challenge. Overall, I didn't like the song.
I don't think it's the worst song we've heard from Canada. Because even though I love Canada, one thing I will say that they always fuck up is their songs. I'm sorry, Brooklyn, but you should not be making music. I don't know if it's her or who writes these songs or who produces them, but I hate every single. I think I've only liked two songs that they have put out, and it was from season 1, that rap challenge they had, and from the first versus the world. I forgot the name of the song. Those are the only two songs Canada has put out that I actually liked the production of it. Anything else, I was like, the Queens did what they could with the shit that they got.
This song was a choice. I thought it had potential. Go Off Queen, I think like the name of the song was given, it was like, yes. So it had potential. I'm not sure what prompt they gave the queens because each of
It
the
felt very
verses
disjointed.
was very different.
Yeah. One thing I will say though is I love that Brooklyn can actually perform, and she's up on that stage flipping and doing splits and everything and
She did
twirling.
fall off the stairs though.
She did that. That was funny though. That was funny. That was
And
content.
they
I
left
love
it
that they
in.
kept it in. I love that they kept it in. They didn't even try to edit out. They're like, yeah, we're leaving that in there.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, she's Brooklyn Heights. What I like, duh. Like I was about to say she's the dancing diva of like Canada. Like, she's
Well,
Brooklyn Heights.
she's the ballet diva of Canada.
She's the ballerina of Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who was your standouts in this challenge?
So I know I said I didn't really like Helena Poison, or at least her aesthetic. She had one of my favorite verses. I loved her verse. That line at the end, which was like, please hold for poison control. I died. I loved it. I thought she did great. I loved her lyrics. Her performance was cute. She was one of my standouts. The Virgo Queen, I thought had the best verse. That bitch went off. Tens, tens, tens across the board. I thought she had the best verse. I thought Michaela had the best performance, especially the asthma. Everything. Those were my three standouts. I thought there were more cute ones. I thought Tiffany and Co was cute. You know, she had a little bit of a bop going. I liked Uma Gods. I thought it was very on brand for her. I thought it was middle of the pack. Definitely not like in the top, but I thought it was very on brand for Uma. And well, those are the ones that really stood out.
Okay. So yes, Helena Poison. Yes. Like hold on the phone for poison control. That was so cunt. Love that. She said, my beauty makes you anaphylactic. Yes, bitch.
That was good.
Again. Like, yes.
The bitch had things
Perla.
to say.
I loved Perla and how low energy that fucking verse was. Like, I loved
I thought
that
it kind of took me out. Like, I get that it's kind of her aesthetic and personality, but to me, it was giving more like she was lost and didn't prepare than necessarily giving like nonchalant, like deadpan. I thought it was just like, oh shit, what am I doing here?
I don't know. I got the opposite. When she said whip my hair while I cast my check, and she did like and it wasn't even a big whip.
I just feel like in her face, she looked very lost and confused.
She did, which I think worked. Why I was like obsessed with this. Virgo Queen, 8 down. She said, Queen of the Virgos, about to go off, singing it high, bringing it low. You can fall in love with the Zodiac flow. Like, what? Like,
no, she ate that. She ate that the fuck up. She fully had the best written verse.
That, I'm obsessed. Like, the flow, she had like 6 different flows. And then obviously I agree with you with Michaela. I thought her verse was cute when she said the asthma parts. I just thought that wasn't even my favorite part. My favorite part was at the end where she said having all the gays saying like go off queen. That shit was everything.
Yes. I mean, because you know, there was definitely gays at the bar like go off queen. And
that
there's
was
gonna be for the rest of the season.
Yes. Tiffany and Co, I agree with you. It was cute. She said, who the fuck is this gorgeous whore? Like, that's cute. Like, I think I'm gonna be saying that in my sleep. Like, who the fuck is this gorgeous whore? Like, that becomes like the new one-liner. Love that. I didn't like Uma's. I'm sorry. Uma was a no ma'am.
I know you don't like Uma.
I've been shitting on Uma this whole entire fucking episode so far. Damn, I need to get my life together. It's just wild to me. Like, I've been shitting on Uma. Like,
I think your Uma might be my Nikita, because I'm sorry, Nikita, but I have talked a lot of shit about Nikita. Love her the house down, but I have said some mean things about Nikita. I'm sorry, Nikita. Love her, but I feel like the roles might have switched, and now
I think so. Yes. Now Uma's like, yes. Jaylene time. I didn't like it, so I was confused. The only thing I like about it is that she was singing, so it was different from everybody else.
I appreciate that it was different and that she was singing. The bitch just lay down. Get it? I get it, girl. You up there in the age, but like do something. I don't know. I just thought her just laying there when all these other girls are like flipping and twirling and flipping their hair and everything. I was like, ooh. And then you just cut to her and she's just like laying down. I was just...
Yes. And I mean, to me, that's kind of like what the standouts were. And then it's obviously was Minnie Wang, but I didn't understand why she had the hat on. I was so confused.
I did not understand the hat. I thought Minnie Wang did okay. I thought she was cute, but I did not understand the hat. Who did you really not like?
Terra Nova.
Okay, same. I'm sorry, girl. Especially because she started off the song and it was just so low energy. The lyrics weren't there, the rhymes weren't there, which is very. It wasn't up to par with the rest of the Queen.
I didn't like Xana either.
No, not really. Again, rhymes weren't there, words weren't there,
What the fuck
performance
was
was
she
okay.
wearing? Like, that's why I was confused. Everybody's verse was so different. The only one I got, the only there was two was Michaela and Virgo, which I thought represented the song really well, which said "Go Off Queen." I thought they was giving me what the true essence of the song was, right? Obviously the other queens did elements that were cute, but I thought those two they went they was going off. And I thought that was what the challenge was supposed to be.
Yeah, I also wonder how much time they gave them. Because, usually this is a main challenge and they'll let them know, hey, this is the beat, whatever. You guys have a full day to write out the words, rehearse everything. So I really want to know how much time they gave them to get this performance ready.
True. I mean, because it seemed like Michaela was very prepared. She said that she was her verse eats and she was ready for it. So I don't know. That's a good question. So back to the workroom. Obviously, we find out that Minnie Wang is a traitor of the season, but apparently some queens think Uma is
we
a
just
trade.
talked about this.
I'm gonna bring it back because I got to talk about why they was flocking towards fucking Uma.
I like Uma.
So my spirit.
I would absolutely go on a date with Uma. I don't know. It's just something about that,
Bye.
Not you hating on Uma.
Bye. Anyway, moving on. Terra Nova.
Girl, you only brought it up because you wanted to hate on her again.
I did. I really did. I'm that petty. And Terra Nova tells us back in Newfoundland, they do 6 numbers and they're paid $37.50.
What the fuck is the 50 cents for? Here to put it in the parking meter or whatever. I don't know. I want to know what the 50 cents is supposed to fucking do.
When I tell you, if I was a drag queen and the bar owner paid me $37.50 and put 50 cents in my fucking hand, there will be a problem.
I would have thrown those 50 cents at them.
You gonna tell me you gonna give me 50 cents? What we're not gonna do, we're not gonna do this shit. Seriously, you're wilding. It's not
we get
okay.
It. Listen, we're not money is money. We get that. And obviously not everyone has the privilege to charge more or to have higher booking fees. So they kind of get what they're able to. But this is more of a call out to the bar owners and the people who run that establishment. Girl, what the fuck is $37.50 supposed to do for them? Especially if you're expecting them to do 6 numbers.
Yep.
That's insane. Yep. That's insane.
It's true.
I hope they're really tipping the queens out there in Canada, especially in Newfoundland. I hope they're getting big old tips.
Same. All right, so now let's get into the runway. So the category is You Ought to Know Me. So it's pretty much their best drag. So who were your standouts for the runway?
Again, Jaylene Time, I thought she looked beautiful. It was a very old school, very big, very elegant dress. I really liked Perla's outfit. I really liked Virgo Queen's outfit, but it did, I don't know, based on her entrance look, based on her performance look, and based on what she described her drag to be, this didn't necessarily give me Virgo Queen. This disco look. It was very cute. I thought it was one of the best looks that came down the runway. But based on what I saw from her from the rest of this episode, it didn't scream Virgo Queen to me.
Yeah, same. My fave obviously was Perla. Loved Perla's look. I just got the fashion reference right away. Love that. I love the lace bodysuit that she was wearing with the mask and the graffiti on the dress. Thought that was cute. Love Michaela's look. I got the reference. I thought it was very Black excellence at its finest. Thought that was amazing. I'm with you on the Virgo Queen. I think the 70s disco look was a great look, especially the hair was everything. I just didn't understand how that was her best drag. And so that was a little confusing to me. But the look itself was good. Obviously, we had Jaylene Time with the Marilyn Monroe and inspired look, and that was cute. It was really on brand for her so far. And she's given us 3 different looks, but still I get who Jaylene Time is. And so that's also a unique and rare ability to do though.
I also did Tiffany's, not for the prompt. I thought it was a cute look. It doesn't give me best drag.
No, not at all.
But I just thought it was a very cute look. I think it's something you would probably wear to like the lip sync challenge, not as like, hey, this is my best drag. But I thought it was a very cute, it gave rain on me. That's what it was given to me, and I really like it.
Yeah. What else? Minnie Wang, I thought the look was good. For some reason, I felt like the length was a little weird in the front, and it was a little ill-fitting. I felt like the padding was off on the dress.
I agree. I actually, you know who else I really liked? You're gonna hate it. Oh my god. I don't know. I thought again, very on brand for her. It was cute. I like the headpiece. You need to stop hating on Uma. I thought it was cute.
The face was mugged. The outfit, not so much.
No, I mean, I'm sorry, Turn Over Girl, but like everything she presented today was just not up to par with the rest of the queens. It's not giving Canada's Drag Race season 5.
Nope. That brings me to Xana. Was a no man for me. I'm sorry, I was confused.
I was in the middle. I hate animal print. I'm sorry. I hate animal print. All the Jersey girls are gonna come after me for saying that, but I hate animal print. And Michelle, she's a Jersey girl.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't necessarily. I thought this look was cute. I thought it was a good, safe look. Nothing outrageous. Nothing that was necessarily bad. I thought it was a nice, safe look.
Helena Poison, I thought the look was cute. It didn't give me best drag, but I thought the look was cute.
Yeah, no, same. Another one that I'd be like, hey, maybe this is something you wear to like lip sync to or to a bar. Nah, absolutely not best drag.
Yep. And then Sanjina, again, I thought the look was cute, but I felt like it was missing something.
It looked so like chest up. I thought it looked really nice. From the chest down, I thought it looked incomplete and like it was definitely missing something.
All right. So.
And I also hated the hat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the hat was an afterthought.
I thought it covered her face too much. I don't know. I didn't like it.
It was just there for no reason.
Yeah.
So we get to find out who the rosebuds were. So Jaylene Time.
Wait. Before you say that, who would you have given your rosebuds to?
Okay. So I would have given entrance look to Jaylene Time.
Absolutely,
I would have given music video to the Virgo Queen.
Yes.
And I would have given
runway.
Rose for the runway. Honestly, I would have given it to Perla.
Same. That was honestly, I agree. That's exactly what I would have done. Who would you give your thorns to?
Thorns for the entrance would have gotten Terra Nova.
I agree.
Thorn for the music video would have been Terra Nova.
Okay, but we can't give it to her twice.
Okay, so we can't give it to her twice. So Thorn for the music video would have been Xana.
Okay, I see that.
And then Thorn for the runway would have been Tiffany and Co.
My Thorn for the runway probably actually would have been Sanjina. But for the music video, and this is kind of what I was referring to earlier, like, wait, what if we could give a queen both? It would have been Jaylene Time. Again, I just thought it was a very boring performance compared to the other queens. Appreciated what she was trying to do, but I would have given her the Thorn for that and the Rosebud for the entrance.
Okay. Yeah. I could see that. But, honestly, I really liked her part. I didn't like that she was doing it. To me, I thought it was a little lazy, but I like that she sang the part instead of rapping like everybody else was doing.
I agree with that, but it was just giving Charlie Hides, and I did not appreciate that.
Shade, but it was. So now the actual Rosebuds was Jaylene Time for her entrance, was Michaela Couture for the music video, and was the Virgo Queen for the run. There were choices, but okay. And then Thorns.
At least 2 of the queens we would have given rosebuds to got the rosebuds.
Yes. And then Thorns, Terra Nova for her entrance look, Perla for the music video, and Tiffany and Co for the runway. I agree with all of the Thorns, actually. Like, I was okay with the Thorns, except for Perla, because I really enjoyed Perla's look.
That's also another one where you could have given her the Thorn for the music video and the rosebud for the runway.
This is true.
That would have been interesting to see.
Yep. But in true, get to know the queen's first impression fashion, we learned that no one is going home. And instead of the bottom, we get a top 2. And the top 2 of the week is the Virgo Queen and Michaela Couture. Did you agree with the top 2 based on this?
Based on everything that was presented today as a whole, yes.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
I thought they
Yes.
were the top two
I
in the
thought the
lip
top
sync.
three was Jaylene Time, right? Obviously, Michaela Couture and the Virgo Queen. So I thought that was good. And then if we just knock off Jaylene Time and just make the top two Michaela Couture and the Virgo Queen, makes sense. I love that this is the first time we get two Black Queens in the top for the first episode of Canada. And I thought that was great.
Yeah, it was cunty. I probably would have just switched out Jaylene maybe for Helena.
Okay, I can see that. She didn't do bad. She was decent. She was kind of
Yeah.
in the middle for me, like the middle high.
I don't know. I think it's just for me. I really dislike Jaylene's verse and performance so much that it really brought everything. Even though she had two amazing looks and her runway and her entrance, I thought I hated that performance so much that it just brought everything else down for me so much. So
Okay. No, I mean, I get that. I didn't like again, like Jaylene's verse didn't give me the visual response that it gave you. So, but I didn't mind her response. Her her
Jaylene's
verse.
verse is your Uma.
Yeah. Not so much. No, because Uma is Uma. Like, it's not my cup of tea. And so going back to the top two, so Michaela Couture and the Virgo Queen, and they are lip syncing to Pretty Girl Era by Lou Kala. What did you think about the lip sync?
Thought it was cute for first lip sync. I don't know. I expected a little bit more.
So what didn't give you the ooh ah ah sensation?
I don't know. I just thought Michaela could have done more. I don't know. It was just with the name like Couture. I thought what's her name?
The
I
Virgo
thought
Queen?
Virgo Queen. My bad. Did good. I don't know. I was just expecting more for both of them. I think maybe it was the song choice, but I would have loved to maybe see them do like a Cardi B song or Nicki Minaj even.
Okay.
That would have been really cute for them.
I think that what I liked about the song is Pretty Girl Era, right? I thought that based on this, we got two separate interpretations of the song.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we got two different interpretations of the song based on the choice of wardrobe that they were wearing. So Virgo was able to give you this airy, soft, like disco, like get into the groove, like get into that pocket and really feel the rhythm. Versus Michaela, who decided to go real serious because she was constricted with the gown that she was wearing. And I thought both interpretations was cute. I just found myself gravitating towards the Virgo Queen more because I just thought Michaela like took a different version of the song for me.
Yeah, I don't know. It was I think it was just I wasn't my favorite song choice, so I think that's also why I couldn't super get into the lip sync. But I thought they both did well. I just expected a little bit.
Yeah, it was a cute song. But at the end, the Virgo Queen ends up being the winner. Do you agree with the Virgo Queen being the first winner of season 5?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Love the
think
Virgo Queen.
she had good looks. Absolutely the best verse of the night. I loved it. Like I keep hearing the song just for her verse because it's
Yes,
that good.
it's good. It's a
Oh
good verse. All right. Okay, so that was episode 1. Now, did episode 2 live up to episode 1 for you?
yes, I think so. I thought it was a cute episode. I thought there was some funny moments in there. Uh, it wasn't the best episode, but I thought it was a cute follow up to the first episode.
All right. Well, episode 2, it's all about the category is PSA. So, public service announcement. But this is not like a normal PSA. They have to make a commercial about aliens coming to like live on Earth. I was so confused. I was like, who the fuck thought about this? This is stupid.
It is, but at the same time, it's very campy. It's cunty. It's what you expect from a drag show, and again, what you would expect specifically from Drag Race Canada to take just the regular like branding or PSA or improv challenge and add a twist to it that only they could think of.
Mexico did a little something like that with the photo shoot on the aliens, the last season of Mexico. They did something similar to this. It wasn't a
God, there's
PSA,
so
but it
many
was
seasons. I don't
yes,
remember.
but it wasn't like a PSA, but it was mostly just like a kind of like a photo shoot with like aliens, and they had to be like the mom, whatever. It was really weird. But anyways, digress. So when the queens come back from obviously Virgo Queen winning, they see that the Golden Beaver is back. Are you
Miss
excited about
Beaver
the
is
Golden
back. I
Beaver?
am. I love this twist because it creates drama. I also think it's just interesting because it kind of mixes kind of like the All Stars twist of like, hey, the queens have a power in or a say in who stays and who goes into regular season without giving them the full control. I think it's a nice twist. I really enjoyed it last season, and I'm glad they brought it back.
Yeah. I mean, for those who don't know about the Golden Beaver gives the winning queen the opportunity to essentially choose who the bottom like two queens will be out of bottom three. So she gets to save one queen and then she gets to kind of choose who the bottom two is. It's a little shady, but it's also about strategy and you have a little bit of power. So we shall see how this plays
No,
out.
yeah, it can definitely turn the tables. Obviously, the judges can still choose to save somebody else who you didn't intend to be saved. But I think it's a very nice twist, and again, it creates drama, and start to see a lot of the girls really play strategically and really build alliances to keep themselves in the game.
Agreed. So now, before we even get into the episode, obviously the meat and potatoes, there's a few things that I did want to point out for this one that I thought was really an amazing moment and very beautiful. Is in the beginning when Jaylene tells Michaela that she expressed her gratitude and her respect for being a trans woman of color and just living in her own confidence and whatnot. And I thought that was such an amazing moment. I thought it was really good that especially the producers kept that in. I think especially in our times where our society is so divided, I think when we get to see people who look like us and share similar stories on all different kind of television shows, I think is very important.
Yeah, I think it is very important to highlight trans stories, and really give them the spotlight that they deserve. And that's also one of the things I really like about Canada is they really hone in on this moment and kind of these conversations that the queens have. We kind of also see a little bit of it further in the episode. They talk a
Hmm.
lot about like Indigenous lives and what has kind of been taken away from them. And how that has affected them, like even now. So that's something I really do appreciate about Canada. They keep those moments in and they really show them.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, when Jaylene said that the life expectancy worldwide for trans women of color is just a little bit above 30 years, to me, I
That's
think that is
incredibly sad.
ridiculous. It literally makes no sense, right? Like, that to me is unacceptable. I think we need to do better, right? Like, I just think it's not okay for that to be what someone thinks of themselves. Like I won't even live past 30 for living my own truth. I think that is unfair.
Absolutely. And I think, I mean, there's obviously a lot that goes into that. You know, a lot of trans people, unfortunately, do get murdered and experience a lot of hate and violence. They also get disproportionately affected by HIV and AIDS and other diseases because they don't have access to the same healthcare that other people do or the same resources, or they have to turn to certain types of work to in order to survive because they can't get other types of just regular jobs. So obviously I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and I know we hear it a lot, like protect trans lives, because we really do need to do that. We need to elevate them and do everything we can to protect them.
I agree. So shout out to our trans brothers and sisters. We see you. We love you. And I think that is very important, especially now more than ever, where the government has made it so taboo to be trans and to live your true self. I think it's unacceptable. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense, right? I don't get why they're coming after the trans community. I really don't understand it. I don't understand. Like, these people are just living their own truth. They're not trying to harm anyone. Like, this is who they were meant to be. And the fact that people have a problem with that and want to make it so hard for them to do that, I literally don't understand.
No, yeah, it literally has no effect on you
No, none
at all.
whatsoever.
No, and to any trans person struggling out there, we will put some resources on the screen, or well, because I don't know how to do that.
I'll do it.
Yes, please, and
Yes.
feel free to reach out for anything.
Yes. So now, back to the main challenge, right? So we get to see that the bottom three queens from last episode, they become team captains. So that is Terra Nova, that is Tiffany Anko, and it is our girl Perla. And they get to pick the teams. So Team Perla is Perla, Minnie Wang, Helena Poison, and their category or their topic is manners. Cute topic, but I'll talk about why I think it's cute. Team Terra Nova is Terra Nova, Xana, Sanjina, and Uma. And they talk about family structures.
You can't even say her name with a straight face.
I cannot. And then it triggers me. I don't know why. Like, triggers me. Like, it's really bad. And then Team Tiffany and Co. is Tiffany, is Jaylene Time, is the Virgo Queen, and is Michaela Couture, which so happens to be the top three from last episode. Like,
The bitch got
okay.
lucky.
And they have sexuality. Out of these three groups, what would be the group you want to be on?
Only manners. If I wanted it to be funny, I think that's the one that is easiest to make funny. and kind of to play up a shtick and really do a whole storyline. If I wanted to do something serious, probably would have been sexuality.
Okay. Yes, I would have been on Team Manners. I think Manners is so like absurd. You can make this like crazy. But I also think family structures you could have made really funny if it was done correctly.
Not you getting shady already.
Yes. Very. Because I was really upset because that was the one I was most excited about. I felt like we have the comedy queen on that, like in that group. And so I was expecting it to be great, and it was not. Um, but before we even get into the rehearsals of the challenge,
Mm-hmm.
I want to point something out because I am a lover of butts. The pit crew's butt was so fucking big that I kept rewinding it to see it over and over. So
Girl, you a fucking whore.
I need someone to at me at No MAAM Podcast or is Big Willy. I need someone to at me his contact because I just need to follow him.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
I'm not going to Canada, so there's no way I'll be able to see him in person. Definitely not going to Canada. Canada's too cold for me, so I will not be going to Canada. But
Now, you never know. Maybe he's down here. Maybe he
that
just
butt,
travels up there.
butt was amazing. Amazing. Was so good. I was like, yes.
Whore.
It was so good. Like, yes. It rivaled Pythia's butt. And Pythia had a nice butt on Global All Stars, just saying. But
I
that was
think maybe
me.
you do need to move to Canada.
Oh my god, Pythia was Canadian too.
Yeah. Fucking dumbass.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe. Listen, maybe can at the rate that the United States is going, then maybe Canada, but then it looks like Canada is doing the same thing that we kind of did. So I don't know. Listen, we might just need to go to Mexico.
I'm down with Mexico. And listen, they
Mexico's
got the first female president down there. Like,
and she's giving
let's.
Trump some shit. So we may have to go to Mexico. So
Yeah.
who would have thought that when you put a female in charge, that shit would happen? Who would have thought?
Right.
Maybe 75 million people who voted for Kamala. Maybe. Maybe they were onto something. I'm just saying. So during the rehearsals, I'm still petty. I'm still jaded about it. Like, I'm so upset.
I mean, who isn't?
Like, so during rehearsals, we get to see that Terra Nova's team and Tiffany's team, they were struggling.
The struggle bus was real, girl. I felt so bad for Terra Nova, but at the same time, not. But like, it was clear that girl did not know what the fuck she was doing as a leader. She had no idea what was going on.
I was confused. Like, I was confused. She didn't give the alien character not one kind of characterization. I was so confused.
And the funny thing is, she specifically chose that character because she was like, "Oh, I want to stand out. I want to be funny." Girl, you said 3 words. Is that a family? Or 4 words?
Like, what is this? And then the opposite end of the spectrum, we had Tiffany and Co. And for me, I was like, was she the leader or was Michaela the leader? Because you couldn't tell me that Michaela wasn't the...
Michaela needs to be a producer on Drag Race because that bitch she was like, no, stop, do it over. You're not giving me this. This is what I need you to give me. Stop, do it over again. Rewind. I loved it. I was living for Michaela just being the full-on director. And Brooklyn Heights just watching her like, did this bitch just take my job?
She was like, you need to do that over. You're like eating your words. And I was just like...
I was like, okay, Michaela.
Okay. Yes. But a part of me was like, was Michaela the captain or was like Tiffany the captain? But the way it looked like, if you didn't know no better, you thought Michaela was the captain.
Yeah, I also appreciated Xana also getting shit done because nobody in her team was getting shit done. So Xana just took over and she was like, let's go. Do this, do that, do this. Next scene, let's go.
Yeah. I mean, it was, to me, I thought, obviously, I think both teams was lackluster. They didn't give me anything. I just thought that Xana's team or like Terra Nova's team, and if I do the captains, I thought that team was a little bit more messy for some reason. I don't know why. I just felt like they were messy. And I just felt like Tiffany's team was just unorganized. They had no script. So it was kind of like a lot of improv. And we know that if you're not yes-anding correctly, improv goes really bad.
Yeah. Were there, even though I know you didn't overall like the performances, was there anyone who did stand out to you in a good way?
Yes. Perla's team.
Okay.
I thought that team
No,
was
I'm sorry.
amazing.
I'm not talking about Prentice team. I'm talking about these two teams.
For
Like, is
these
there
two
an
teams,
individual? Yeah,
yes, Jaylene Time. Have
Jalen
to
Time
give her
killed it.
credit. Yes,
Bitch
like
was
have to give
fucking
her
licking
credit.
air. Bitch was
Like
licking air,
that
fucking making
tongue,
out with those alien heads.
like
And then the pick,
that was
remember
genius.
that too. But then the pick, remember that had the head on his nipple and was just like rubbing it around. I was done. I was dying. I thought it was hilarious.
See,
And then
that's
you
the
see,
funny in sexuality. Like that's the funny because it was
yeah, see, but
absurd.
here's the thing. I think they confused sex and sexuality, or I thought they blurred the line too much. I think they should have stuck more to like what sexuality is in terms of like who you're attracted to and brought down the sex a little bit because they're not the same thing.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think they kind of got it a little confused.
yes, they did. And Brooklyn kind of gave them a little hint. She was like, sexuality, not sex.
Yeah, and they still went like full on sex mode, and it's like,
They
oh,
did. They really did.
yeah.
But to the team that I did enjoy, Perla, I
I
loved
mean, that
her
team killed it.
team. Fag, Pretty Housewives against Grossness. Come on
That
now.
was so smart. That was so smart, so cunty. I love that. They,
And Manor,
I was so surprised. Yeah, I was so surprised because I did not expect that from them. They're all very quiet, but they all just went in there. They got their shit done. They knew exactly what they were going for. Minnie Wang really surprised me with her with the way she was acting. That very like monotone, like very like housewife, kind of robotic
but she was
personality. I loved
medicated.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I loved it.
She's like, hi, my name is Minnie Wang. That was everything.
I
That was so good.
And then the wrong appendage. I was laughing. I was dying.
They did really well. And then Helena putting her
Yeah.
face in the pie or like the shaving cream or whatever it was.
Hmm.
That was genius. And then even more genius is she kept
She
the
kept it on.
on her face.
Yeah, no, and this, I feel like they were the only team that really kind of worded it in a way that would make sense to aliens when they were like, oh, insert it in your eating hole or whatever, or like introduce your appendage. Like, I thought it was really smart of them to do it
Yes.
that way.
Yes. And it was also the only one that was an actual PSA.
Yeah. Yeah. They killed it. Those
Like
quiet
it
girls
was a
killed it.
PSA. Like I got those cheesy PSAs. Like I got the vibe from them. Like they were
Absolutely.
doing the PSA. Like they were doing that. So shout out
Mhm.
to Fag. Love Fag. Such a great group. I'm gonna keep saying Fag. Like Pretty Housewives
I
against
thought you hated
Grossness.
that word. I thought you hated that word.
Yeah, but I hate the F word. I don't mind the PH word.
Girl, I hate you. You fucking fag.
Just saying. Or I'm gonna pull a you. I'm gonna take it back. That's what you said.
Yeah.
Anywho, okay. So yeah, we hinted upon obviously right in the beginning. You talked about Jaylene Time, like reclaiming like her journey, like her cultural journey. Again, I think it's really amazing that they keep putting this in here to talk about her
Hmm.
indigenous culture, giving her the space to do so, making space for her, not only for her but the other queens who may not be on the same path as her or is gradually getting on the path to find who they are. Think it's amazing. We saw Xana have a breakthrough. She recognized her like privilege to like be kind of white passing, right? So she recognized the power that's in that, but she also recognized that there is hindrance in that as well, right? Like being totally disconnected from your culture is also like a detriment to you fully not accepting your 100% true self.
Yeah, and I think it's important that that was brought up because I feel like yes, it is a privilege to be white passing, and again, she accepted that. But then there's also kind of some negativity with it when, like, if you tell somebody you're indigenous, they're gonna look at you and be like, "No, you're not. You're white."
Hmm.
And I think that's also a bad thing because you're erasing somebody's culture, and unfortunately, for a lot of indigenous people, both in the U.S. and in Canada, that culture was erased against their will. And there's a saying which is like, it doesn't matter how much milk you put in the coffee, it's still coffee. And I think that's the case with Xana. Like, she may not look what you would think a native person should look like, but that doesn't erase her indigenous culture.
Yeah. I mean, we had the one drop rule where for us, if you had one drop of black in you, you were black, right? And so, regardless of how white passing you look or how light skinned you look, if you had one drop of black blood, then they automatically assume were black, right? And I think like that is both countries, I just think it's just we have a lot to do when it comes to one trying to erase people's like culture and heritage. We have a really we history, like a long, like checkered past with that. But again, Down Under did it with the previous, like the last episode that they had, but they gave space to tell the story. Canada is doing it now. I love that it's happening. I think we need more of it with the Americanized like version, like the standard version of Drag Race. We get more queens coming out and telling their story about being HIV positive. So that's another way of like them living in their true self and being authentic. But then on the international franchises, we're getting like indigenous cultures, like being able to be introduced to them, and I think that's great. So I
Yeah, I
love
love
this
that.
new wave of like storytelling on these shows. I think we need to continue it.
I agree. And I love that every season of so far of like Canada's Drag Race, I've learned a different aspect of like indigenous history and culture and kind of the atrocities that were done to them, which
Mhm.
obviously, we went to school in the US, so we didn't necessarily get to learn them. So I think it's a great way to teach the world of what has happened so we can, try to fix that and prevent it from happening.
So true. I agree. So now let's get to the runway. So the category is time and place. This was a really interesting runway. I enjoyed some looks, and then I thought some looks was really up to interpretation.
So I don't think anyone had a bad look. But I feel like with this runway theme, they essentially just got free will to do whatever the fuck they wanted. Like it was like, hey, just give us whatever you want and just say it's from this time and this place. Like they really could have done anything at all. And I think that's what they did. So I don't think any of the queens necessarily had a bad luck, but I agree with you where it was like maybe the interpretation wasn't quite there with
Yes.
the prompt. But to me, it was just kind of giving like free will to just, hey, do whatever you want.
All right. Who was your faves?
So I really like Minnie Wang because I thought it was really funny.
Yes.
Like coming out
Justice
as Juice
hashtag
Box.
justice for Juice Box
Yes, and she even had like her little bracelet stuck.
that actually got
I
stuck.
really did it. So I couldn't tell.
It actually got
I was
stuck.
like, "Is this
Yes.
okay?" Because I was like, "Is this bitch really acting that well, or
No, it
like
actually
did
got
it
stuck.
actually get
It
stuck?"
was like two. It
Okay,
was
that's
like
that's
literally.
that's
It would have been
hilarious.
stuck, but it came apart at the last minute. But it was actually
That's
stuck. Yeah.
hilarious. That's hilarious. I really like Perlas. I thought it was very. I love the way she had those like. That cut was like bedazzled. I thought it was a very nice look. It was very smart. It was beautiful. Oh God, made me gag, both literally and figuratively. When she came out, I was like, gag. Oh my God, I love this. And then when that bitch started eating her skin, I literally gagged. Like I was about to throw up. Like I was like I was seconds away from throwing up. And I love that. I loved her runway. I think she actually probably had my favorite look of the night because of that specifically. Because the bitch literally almost made me throw up. I know you hate it.
So yeah, about that. Did not like it at all. Was confused.
I loved
Desert.
it. I loved it.
It was Earth 3025. I was confused because that's very specific. Like that's a very specific year. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and then she ate her skin, and I was like, "What in the hills have eyes is this shit? Like, this is not okay. This is like wrong turn 45. Like, not okay. Like, no. Like, Gila Monster. Like, was not a didn't know. So she was not one of my faves. Hopefully
Listen,
Uma
I
can
know.
turn this around for me.
Listen,
I'm hoping.
I think you also probably didn't like it because you just hate Uma. So
You
anything she
know,
gives out, you're just gonna hate.
hate is a strong word. I don't hate her.
Dislike.
I
Dislike.
strongly dislike Uma in the first two episodes. Hopefully she can like grow on me, but right now her eating her skin is not the type of growing that
I loved it because I think this is what drag is. It makes you think. It makes you gag. Literally, it's something interesting, something different. I loved it.
if this was I live for this, I would give this a bad pussy. Like a bad pussy. This would have been a
Yeah, I
bad
live for
pussy for me.
this. I live.
If it was I live for this, like shout out to Trinity and Chantel, I swear this would have been a bad pussy. Like, no ma'am. No
I would
ma'am.
actually love to hear their take on this. Actually, Trinity,
You know what?
Chantel, if you're
Yes.
watching, let
Same.
us know.
Same.
What do you think
Like
of Oh My God's look?
just this runway. Like just this runway. Time and a place. We need to know what you feel because no. My standout loved Perla. Who would have thought 1888, London, England, Jack the fucking Ripper, make murder fashionable. Who would have thought that
Was it
shit?
18?
Yes,
Was it 18?
1880.
I thought she went before that.
No, it was 1888, London,
Okay.
England, Jack the Ripper. Who would have thought to make murder fashion?
No, I thought it was cute. I love that the bloodstains were like bedazzled. I love the makeup that she did with it because it was giving full on like, bitch, I've been dead for like 3 days.
Yes. It was giving me Interview with a Vampire, which I'm not mad about. But I love the look with the ripped tights. Like it was giving because if you know Jack the Ripper, you know he murdered the women of the night. So it was giving that. It was good. Like it
Hordes.
was
He murdered Horde.
I didn't want to say Horace, so I said the women of the night. I want to give them a little bit more respect. I'm obsessed with the look, obsessed with Perla. I thought she did her big one. She ate that look up like no crumbs. Another one that I enjoyed was Michaela Couture. I've been to Carnival, like I've seen it. It was like really good for the look. Obviously, I haven't been to Toronto, so I don't know Caravana. I don't know their carnival, but I've been to like the Labor Day parade in Brooklyn, which sort of is like the Americanized version of carnival. Been to other carnivals in other Caribbean countries, but I just think it's such an amazing like experience with the feathers and like the outfits. So Michaela ate down, like the body was bodying, everything was really great. I don't know, but I was really feeling those shoes, those pink pumps was everything for me. I don't know why it was like giving me so much I needed, but it was a
I
cute
like
look.
the. It was a cute look. I like that. I just think I've seen it before. So it was well
Yes,
done. I love the
yes,
feathers. It wasn't the most original thing to me.
correct. It wasn't original, right? Because she had something to like point it towards, right? Like we've seen that, but I thought that was good. Another look that I thought was really great was the Virgo Queens. I just think the time and the place was disjointed. I knew what she was trying to do, right? But she said it was given romantic era in Africa, but I didn't get Africa. I got
So
antebellum slavery time, which
So what I do like is that kind of like Victorian silhouette she had, juxtaposed with the like African print she had on, or like that the dress was made out of. So
yeah,
I really enjoyed it. I liked it. I thought it was a nice look. Not my
yes.
favorite, but I thought it was really well done. And I got the idea that she was going for.
I just didn't think it gave me Africa, right? I thought it was yes, romantic era. I think it's great. I just didn't think the time and the place was Africa. I didn't, especially her backstory. I thought she would have made more sense if she would have been like it was like antebellum slavery period. I think based on the overall look, I think it would have lent more to that piece of a
I could see that.
history with that print, right? Being like slavery and slave owners and having that. I thought to me that kind of made sense with the story of the slave trade. I got that. I didn't really get like Africa. That just wasn't coming to me. But the look I thought was a really good concept, and I thought overall the look was really great. Her mug was great, the hair was great. I thought it made sense. And then obviously her being light skinned also
Hmm.
made it even more impactful and more powerful. And so I don't think she realized that it kind of did. And so, right, just being like one of the house slaves, right, or just being like a product of one of the slave owners, I think would have been like if she would have hinted upon that in that look, I think it would have took it like above.
Yeah. But speaking of kind of hinting to something, I think Jaylene Tyne had an amazing look.
Oh yes,
That custom
absolutely.
made regalia. I loved the moment of her walking down the runway and what's her name? Serene, right? I think that's her name. Soraya,
I
Serene.
think so. Yes.
I'm sorry if I butchered her name. But the guest judge with her obviously she's indigenous as well. She has some indigeneity in her. So her kind of witnessing that and lending her voice to the runway and kind of elevating it even more, I thought was amazing. I thought it was a really beautiful moment. And you could tell that it really touched her.
Yeah. Yeah, Jailing Time was 1950 and the Trinity 4 powwow. And so obviously I didn't know too much about it. So I think it's something for me to research because Jailing really made me want to learn more about that
Hmm.
particular time period in general. I thought it was very spiritual. I got like an emotional response from it. I thought it was really great. You know how sometimes when you see something and it gets like, and then you watch it and it seems like everything around you just goes quiet and it goes like really like
Hmm.
just
That
like
was it was definitely
silent.
one of those moments.
Yes,
Yeah.
but in the best
I
way
thought she looked
possible.
beautiful.
I
Yeah.
love that she decided to do that, but I also think it's really great that the producers allowed her to do so, because we know sometimes the producers, because they are producing a TV show, you have a concept and they'll tell you at the last minute you can't do that.
Yeah. Because they're either trying to avoid controversy or they don't think it fits or whatever.
Right.
And I appreciate the fact that this is not the first time Canada has let the queens do something like this. There was that queen on, what was that, season 2?
With Kimura, when she came out as a slave and she
Yeah,
ran.
yeah, yeah. Another very
That
powerful
was another
moment from
moment,
Canada's.
right? So the moment where it
Yeah.
just gets quiet in the room. And I just think that it is like, and all you can do is like just take in what you're seeing. I think that's amazing. And then some of them to me were a little questionable in terms of just like, I thought they was very specific and random, like specific, which is so weird. Xana, 25 Vancouver, like to me, she was giving me Hester from Screen Queens with the neck
I mean,
brace.
yeah, no, my problem with this look is it just looked kind of cheap. I don't know.
It did.
I just
It
I didn't like the material that it was made out of. I know the judges were like gagging for it. I was like, it's given like it was made out of like a yoga mat. I don't know.
Yes. Helena Poison, two separate ideas, two great concepts. Don't think they needed to be together. Like 1950s hell, I don't think they needed to be together. But two
I
amazing concepts separate from each other.
I kind of liked it. I don't know. It was okay. Definitely not a killer runway. Nothing to write home about. But I am a huge Beetlejuice fan, and what this gave me was kind of like, I don't know. It just gave me Beetlejuice in the
I
best way
actually watched
possible.
Beetlejuice yesterday. So Beetlejuice 2, I
Like
actually watched it yesterday.
I hated Beetlejuice too. I'm sorry. That was nasty.
Yeah, it
I
was bad.
hated
It was
that
a bad.
movie.
It was a bad one.
Beetlejuice 1, though, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Iconic, yes.
Yes. But it was giving me like she would be like one of the secretary workers in the afterlife. Like that's what it
Yes.
gave. And I loved
I
it.
just don't know why she was green. I would if she was like if it was, but if we're gonna talk about Beetlejuice, yes, makes so much sense, right? I thought because
But
she
she did
wasn't
not
so
reference that.
no, she said hell, so I wanted red. Like,
But it also might have been they didn't let her reference it.
okay, that's also true. Tiffany and Co. She did Agent Vietnam. Again, I think it's a great concept. I don't think the execution matched the concept. I think it was too much
I
fabric, and it
No, I
bothered her
love the
up.
dress. My problem with it was the egg that she was holding, and she was holding it there the whole time. So you didn't get a moment to like open the dress up and for us to really appreciate it. So I think that's why I kind of felt like the dress swallowed her up because she never opened it up. She just held the egg there the whole time. Her dress was covered. Had she gotten rid of it, I thought it would have been way better.
Yes. Then we have Sangina, and she was 1950s brothel ever Amsterdam red light district.
I don't know what the fuck that kind of brothel that was, bitch. That must have been the emptiest brothel ever. What the hell was that? Like little like 2-inch sheet on her head, like with those cheap rhinestones.
You know, that didn't
This
bother
thing,
me.
you need.
That didn't bother me.
It bothered me because like it's flapping around. You see her head underneath. Like the corset did not fit her well. It just wasn't giving brothel to me.
But that didn't bother me.
Virgo, get your daughter.
What bothered me was 1950s brothel era Amsterdam red light district. Who, when you got this prop, what possessed her to say, I'm going to do 19th brothel era Amsterdam red light district? What?
It's giving like she had nothing else to wear. She pulled this outfit together and she was like, "Yeah, I can call it this." That's just like it was giving that like just pulling something out of the closet. She didn't have anything else to wear.
So the outfit itself did not bother me. I just wanted to know why it was so specific.
I
Like,
hated the outfit.
that to me was
I
what
hated it.
I kept like dealing with, was like, why is it so fucking specific? But like that
I
bothered me.
I don't like anything that I've seen from Sanjina so far, and it has nothing to do with like. I'm sorry. It's not to do with like her culture or anything like that, but I just feel like her looks are not up to par yet, and you can tell she needed just a little bit more time to really elevate her drag before she
Correct.
got on the show and competed.
Agreed.
Because
Yeah,
especially comparing her to her mother, who's killing the runways and doing amazing, and then you see her and it's like,
agreed.
maybe you should have passed some of that on to her.
Yes. And then we had Terra Nova, and she chose December 11th, 1948, Ottawa, Canada. I don't know too much about this, so I'm not going to drag her for too much. But again,
I didn't.
it was very specific, and I felt like if you have to tell us what it is, then you are not doing it correctly.
I agree. I didn't get it. The look was okay. It was just basically an oversized jacket. I don't know. I didn't get it. So I don't know if it's for me to critique necessarily.
Right. So my top two was Perla. Jack the Ripper look was everything. And Minnie Wang, hashtag Justice for Juicebox, who shouldn't have been the pork chop of season one. I thought that should have been a double Shantae between her and Lemon. I'm just
So who
saying,
would have
I
been your
thought
pork
both of them
chop
did really
then?
great. Like, if you know me,
No, I
you know I
agree.
love me some Juicebox. Like, love Juicebox.
Girl, you want to suck on that juice box.
Who was your top two? No.
So
But I
on the
want the box,
runway or in
though.
general? On the runway or in general?
The runway.
My top two were
Runway.
Perla and oh my god, which I know you hate. The fact that she made me gag, like I loved it.
Okay, that makes sense. Oh my god. Not I lost Jhoany. Well, there you guys have it. That I lost Jhoany, y'all. So I may have to piece this together to get us together. Hi, everyone. So this episode may actually look a little different, and it's because Jhoany had some technical difficulty. So it's really hard for him to continue recording the episode, but I did want to finish like what we started. So where we cut off was I talked about Minnie Wang. So Minnie Wang was one of my tops. I said hashtag Justice for Juicebox. I thought it was such a great look. And if you know me, then you know that I really enjoyed Juicebox from season one of Canada's Drag Race. I thought she did really well. I'm a little upset that she was the pork chop of that season. I thought that the lip sync between her and Lemon was iconic in its own right. And then at the end of the runway, we get to see that Brooklyn lets the queens know that they will be judged individually, even though they competed in teams. And so we get to see that the tops are Perla, Helena Poison, and Minnie Wang. And we get to see that the bottoms are Tiffany and Co., Terra Nova, and Xana. So now, the winner of the challenge is Perla. And she gets the opportunity, or the power, I should say, of the Golden Beaver. So she gets to choose, or she gets to save one of the queens from the bottom three. So now, my question is, who would you pick? I would have picked Terra Nova because I thought she has potential and I would have wanted to see more from her. And then I really just wanted to see like Xana and Tiffany and Co. like battle it out because in the beginning of the first episode they were like, we're not going to be in the bottom ever. Like, and so I thought it'd been really super shady to do that. Jhoany would have either did Xana or Tiffany and Co. because he said pretty much Terra Nova gave us everything that she could. Part of me agrees, but a part of me really wanted to see if she had a little bit more potential in her. Perla does what Jhoany would have done, and she chooses Xana. And so that leaves Tiffany and Co. and Terra Nova as the bottom queens, and they have to lip sync to Fuck the Pain Away by Peaches. Now, I'll tell you my opinion in a few. But what did you think about this lip sync? Did you enjoy it? Did it live up to the first episode? Or was it given a little bit no ma'am? To me, it was given a little bit of no ma'am. I was a little underwhelmed, especially because Tiffany and Co kept talking about how she was the performer. And now if you watch the first episode, then there is a little bit of foreshadowing between Terra Nova and Tiffany and Co. So shout out to the producers who did that because that was great foreshadowing to what will happen in episode 2. But all in all, I thought the lip sync was underwhelming, excuse me. I didn't get it. The song was cute. Fuck the Pain Away. I thought that was really cute. I think it's cute. It's a bop-ish, but Tiffany and Co., she wins the lip sync. Makes sense. And Terra Nova becomes the pork chop of season 5 of Canada's Drag Race. So, comment below. Do you agree? Or do you think it should have been someone else? Or should we have done another double save? Imagine if they would have done 2 double saves in a season. I think that would have been a little obsessive. But that's just me, on my soapbox. Because my bestie had technical difficulties. So what can I do? But that brings us to the conclusion of this episode. We had so much fun reviewing and recapping Canada's Drag Race Season 5, Episodes 1 and 2. We have still a season to go with Canada, but also we are still reviewing and recapping Drag Race Down Under. So stay tuned for that. And this has been another episode of No Ma'am. So, like always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a single episode of No Ma'am. Now, commenting and liking is super important because we have to treat the algorithm. We want to be on the top of your page so you know when you first drop an episode, you'll be the first one to get a tea, right? You're part of the friend group now. So we need your help. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to all of our episodes so that we can start getting these views up, right? No Ma'am is here to stay, y'all. We're not going anywhere. And if you're listening to us on Spotify or iHeartRadio, please make sure you like us, comment, and rate us 5 stars. Treat the algorithm on those listening platforms as well. It means a lot for us. So, now, as always, we'll have you saying no, ma'am, in no time. Bye.